This is the 50th Carefree Cooks Code broadcast of 2020. Which was your favorite? Which episode do you think was the most watched? Was there one that impacted your cooking the most? Well, we're going to review the top 15 Carefree Cooks episodes of the past year. We're going to see which one is number one today on the Carefree Cooks Code, number 50. I'm Chef Todd Moore, and this is the Carefree Cooks Code, every Tuesday live at noon Eastern. Here's our challenge. How can home cooks cook freely with creativity, confidence, and pride while ignoring recipes and still impressing themselves and others with what they cook? Well, the answer is found in becoming empowered with how cooking works, using dependable and repeatable methods of cooking that work for any ingredient, for any diet, and any desire, just like chefs do. And we'll know we've cracked it when everyone sees cooking as an exciting and rewarding way to improve their relationships, their lifestyles, and their health through better food and cooking. This is the Carefree Cooks Code. Hey, welcome back to the Carefree Cooks Code, everyone. This is the weekly show for the methods, techniques, and insights into better food and cooking. And we're live every Tuesday at noon Eastern, except for the next 2 Tuesdays, where I'll be taking a short hiatus. And here's the remaining schedule for 2020. You can find all the past videos in my archive on Facebook if you go to facebook.com/chef.todd.more/videos. And if you want to see what I'm cooking and how I did it during the week when we're not live, follow Chef Todd Moore on Instagram as well, because I'm a carefree cook. I create my own recipes. I bring friends and family together virtually. I learn every time I cook. I create my own cooking style because I practice pro methods and I wind up loving my cooking. Hey everybody, so good to see you again. Since this is the last Carefree Cooks episode of the year, I thought we should look back on all the ground that we've covered over the last 12 months. We've done 120 or so live casual cooking segments as well, but I always think that Tuesdays at noon is really the most empowering class that I can present each week, because that's when we go over the concepts, the insights, the hows and whys behind cooking, so you can become much more confident and creative in the kitchen. So today, what we'll do is count down the top 15 Carefree Cooks Code broadcast and leave all that live cooking for another day, maybe. So this is not considering all the casual cooking events. This is just the Tuesday Carefree Cooks Codes. Oh, but first, I've got the last What Am I of the year for you. Tell me in the comments section below, please. What am I? This is a fancy-looking knife you got there, or sword maybe. Maybe it's a distant relative of Esmeralda. The answer, I'll tell you, the answer is not Esmeralda's Tio Pepe. She has a Tio Pepe she left back in Seville, nonetheless. Around this time, I will give you a decent hint without waxing poetic about Esmeralda. Around this time of year, this is something that you could use if you want it to be extra fancy, especially on New Year's Eve. All right, there's a lot of hints. What's the name of the special sword? Okay, tell me in the comments section below. God, winding down. Oh my goodness, it has been a really, really difficult year, no? 2020 has presented some real challenges to us, more than any other year that I can remember, right? It's reminded me that life can be really, really hard, sometimes really hard. And there are always challenges to face. But I have to remind myself that how you face those challenges says a lot about who you are. It also says a lot about the position that you're going to be in when the challenges aren't around anymore. You want to survive them, at least. But not only survive them, you want to figure out a way not to let it really affect your forward movement, you know? I mean, this is my opinion. My opinion is that I lean into challenges. Heather and I, we have had many, many, many challenges in our life, some very serious ones as well. And I'm not negating or playing down any one specific situation. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you what I do. I lean in. I work on my health if there's sickness about. I want to be as healthy as I can. I work on my education if there's something I don't know, something I want to know. I work on that. I lean in. I work on my relationships so they don't just fade away at this terrible time. I work on myself. I work on my mindfulness. I try to focus on today, not tomorrow, not be filled with regret of yesterday. Because I think if you focus on right now, you can usually take stock. And if you take stock of right now, you wind up deciding usually that things are pretty good right now. But it's the fear of tomorrow and the regret of yesterday that causes anxiety. Today is a beautiful day. I'm grateful for everything in today. And I'm especially grateful for you. And I'm grateful for the journey that we've taken together this year. Thank you. Thank you for being with me through all of it. And I hope that there's been at least one topic that we talked about this year that's improved your cooking and your enjoyment of the kitchen. I hope I gave each and every one of you at least one aha moment. Something maybe that you hadn't considered before. Something that unlocked a confidence or a creativity, something that moved your cooking forward just another step this year. And if that happened to you, I'm so glad I was there for it. I'm so glad we were together for that moment. So, after all the talk about not looking backward, let's take a retrospective of the top 15 cooking topics by total viewership and engagement on Facebook in 2020. We'll start with number 15. Number 15, most watched, most engaged. We talked about how to avoid the 7 kitchen dangers that you find in every meal that you cook. Come on, the kitchen is a dangerous place, right? From the heat and the fire that can burn you, the slip and falls on a wet floor, the sharp knives that can cut you, and that's not to mention the no-see-ums, right? The invisible bacteria that you got to keep out of your food as well. But it's okay. If you go back and watch that episode, you'll see that we figured out how to outsmart all 7 of the dangers so that we eat well and that we eat safely. Number 14 was back in September, and a lot of people, I'm thankful that a lot of people stopped being so hard on themselves. Stop being so hard on yourself because you can love non-perfect cooking. Who set you up for this type of thinking? Who told you that your food has to be perfect for you to be proud of it? Stop listening to them. Step 1, stop listening to people that tell you you have to be perfect. You don't. Turn off the food TV. Don't watch the competition cooking shows. Focus on your food. Focus on your cooking. Focus on the kind of food that you enjoy and the things that make you proud. Number 13 was a Carefree Cooks episode where I asked how many cooks you really have to be to make a great meal. I mean, how deep do you have to go on the cooking methods and lessons? And it came out of the idea that I was reminiscing about the fancy restaurants that Heather and I used to go to when restaurants were a thing, of course. But when I started thinking about all the skills that go into making a fancy restaurant meal, I started to realize that the same skills go into making your own dinner at home. You got to make the entree. You got to make the side dishes. You have to make a salad. You bake bread. You make your own dressings. You got to make sauces. You are an entire classical brigade of chefs in your own kitchen. Amazing when you think about it, how many skills you can develop to put together a great meal. Speaking of which, number 12, I took those skills and I showed you how you can turn one meal into 9 meals with just the flick of a wrist. All right. Maybe it wasn't that simple. It's not a flick of a wrist. But if the idea with this class was if you have command of a few basic cooking methods, then you always keep the ingredient but change the method, or change the ingredients and keep the method. And then it's endless variety. You get the idea? That's the best way to greater variety. Number 11 on our top 15 countdown, was actually an emotional show for me. I get choked up sometimes because this is very important to me, and people are important. Helping people is important. But this whole idea of searching deeply, when you ask yourself the question why 7 times in a row, each question, why, and to each answer, you get down deep. You get to a real truth. And then when you get to the real reason that you like to cook, or the real reason that you have to cook in your generosity or taking care of somebody else, when you get to the real reason, you're going to find a lot more pride in it. And that was a powerful episode. Go back to the archive and watch the 7 Whys of Cooking if you haven't. Number 10 was in July here in the U.S. when we declared our independence, our food independence. We declared our independence from recipes. We declared our independence from convenience food, from food, TV, entertainment, independence from other people telling us how we should cook in our own homes. Hip, hip, huzzah! Hip, hip, huzzah! I like doing that at the time. Number 9 was all about rice. Rice is the number 1 food that most people cook all wrong. So we review the differences between white rice and brown rice, long grain rices versus short rice, how to promote or inhibit your stick factor in rice. Great rice class. Go and watch that one as well. Number 8 was a great show on the 7 ingredients that bake everything. And I wrote this class because I'm always amazed, continually amazed, that there are just a handful of ingredients that are responsible for absolutely everything that is baked. But the difference lies in how they're combined. Take the same ingredients, combine them in an endless number of ways. How you mix them together dictates what comes out. It's like letters in the alphabet. It's only 26 letters, but how you combine them, it makes all the difference. It was a great show, really great show. Number 7 came right after that. This was a great compliment to the class we just talked about. I called this one Baking Bad. Those of you that watch brutal TV will know what I'm talking about. This went, it was a tough show, wasn't it? This went, I won't recommend it to my mother. That's how tough it was. But Baking Bad went even deeper into the 5 basic mixing methods for cookies, for cakes, for pies, muffins, scones, brownies, and while everybody else is focusing on time and temperature, right? We know that most baking mistakes are made in the mixer, not in the oven. Number 6 helped cool all our kitchens down back in June. This was the summer salads class. We reviewed the basic classifications of salads, the categories of ingredients so you can start making your own salads and salad dressings, the methods behind them so you could whip up a salad with what you have in the pantry, but most importantly, keeping the oven off. In the summer, keep the oven off. Do some nice cold salads as well. All right, cool. This is moving along quickly. We're into the top 5 now. Carefree Cooks Codes broadcasts of the year. Are we having fun? Are you digging this so far? If you missed any of these classes, remember facebook.com/chef.todd.more/videos or find Chef Todd More on Facebook and then click videos on the left-hand side. You can find them. You can do it. You can. I know you can. They're all there from the past year. So, have I mentioned your favorite yet? No? You think it's still coming? Maybe it's in the top 5? Your favorite episode, the thing maybe that changed your cooking a little bit? Last year's number 1 was Through Thick and Thin, Great Winter Soups. Winter soups were a big thing last year. We talked about soups and sauces a lot last year. That was a very important topic. We launched the whole Sauce Boss course last January. So it's been a saucy kind of year in that respect. So do you think the soups repeated as number 1? Could it be 2 years in a row? All right, I don't know. Let's keep going and see. My number 5 on the top Carefree Cooks Codes of the year was my 7-question chef test. Do you think you could pass it? It is the 7 questions that I would ask chefs when I was interviewing for my catering company or when I was running the big hospital kitchen. Not like make your signature dish, which every chef can do, but 7 skills that you should have in the kitchen that if you can do them, I'm pretty confident you can make anything I ask you to. Number 4 kind of surprised me. I know cooking lighter has been a lot more important to a lot of people under quarantine, keeping your health up through food, through better food and cooking. And I found that the salad classes were so much more popular this year. Really strange. Last year, soups and sauces. This year, salads and salad dressings. And the number 4 most popular class was letting the dressing out of the bottle, we called it, where we stopped buying salad dressings. It's just like if you look at the ingredients in a lot of these dressings, you know that you would use better ingredients yourself. So we started making much better dressings ourselves at a fraction of the cost while having all the pride of having done it ourselves. Not sure about salad dressings? Go back to that class. And I think I give my honey balsamic formula there as well. So you might want to get that class as well. Number 3 was a challenge that I issued to everyone, and it seems like a lot of people listened to me. I wanted you to ask yourself and then answer just 2 questions every time you cook. And I promised during this class that if you do this, if you ask yourself just 2 simple questions each time, your cooking will absolutely improve each time you cook. Okay, number 2, right? I think the number 2 most popular Carefree Cooks Code this year might have been the most powerful, might have been the most impactful of all of them. So I'm really glad to see that people were paying attention. I'm really glad to see that it's up here close to the top of the most watched, because the number 2 most powerful Carefree Cooks Code was the 26 most important temperatures in cooking. And this puts a quantifiable, measurable, or observable element to your cooking. I don't know that much could be more important than this. Well, the cooking methods. Learning step-by-step methods that you repeat over and over again and then just plug in a different type of food. That's the most important part. After that, knowing the temperatures, quantifying, measuring, observing, right? Temperatures eliminate guessing in cooking, and guessing destroys good cooking. All right? Here it is. On the last Carefree Cooks episode of the year, it was the most watched, most in minutes, most engagement, Carefree Cooks Code broadcast of the year. Drum roll. Brrr. Everyone out there, do the rolling tongue thing brrr, with me. Go ahead. You're not doing it. All right, you're doing it too loud. Okay, good. You're just right. Here it is. It's the 16 cooking rules that you should never follow. This opened a lot of people's eyes, I think. There are rules to cooking, things that you've been told all your life. You should just ignore them. It was really the point of all this. All the things that people have told you to do all your life, they're ruining your cooking. Time and temperature, Using specific products, why? Unquantifiable measurements. Waiting for medium heat. Vague warnings. Crazy measurements. They're all just some of the things to stop worrying about in your cooking. And you'll find that if you don't follow any of these 16 cooking rules, and if you're really ambitious and don't follow any of them, your cooking will improve, there's no doubt. Written recipes don't teach you to cook any more than having sheet music will teach you how to play piano. And there they are, the 15 most watched, most engaging Carefree Cooks Codes broadcast of the year. Today being number 50. Ooh, wait, what if this were the most popular one? What if this one, how would this one get on this show? Maybe this will be the most popular. Well, it's like when they have the Academy Awards show or the Emmys TV broadcast, and the Emmys get nominated for an Emmy. I don't ever understand that. But I doubt this will be the most important. Okay. All right, look, we're getting forward. We're looking forward to January, right? We're going to look forward positively. We're going to think about all the new things that we can learn, all the new places that we can go, how far we can take our personal journeys, no matter in what realm it is, in health, in relationships, in lifestyle, in cooking, in your other hobby, whatever it might be. Look forward. Look forward to taking these things to the next step. And I'm going to take the next 2 Tuesdays off, the first that I've taken all year, but I'm going to be back in January with more tips, more techniques, more methods to help take your cooking to the next level this year. And before I see you again, you might be getting really fancy with one of these on New Year's Eve. You might open your bottle of champagne with the Sabrage, the champagne saber, the Sabatier, they call it in some places. As my friend, here's a throwback for you. My friend from the G.H. Martel Company in Épernay, France, once demonstrated for me and some others. So let me leave you with a holiday classic for you. Here is Chef Todd at the French Distillery back in 2010. And a really cool way to open your champagne bottle with a sabatier with a knife. And we'll show you. Let's go inside and see.
So you take it with your left hand, like this. You use like that. And you leave it like this for a while, and then you will be able to pour the glasses. After, you just have to drink the whole bottle at once because you cannot close it anymore.
Not exactly a sabrage. I think it was a kitchen knife. Look, if you're still shopping for cooks on your list, you can get some great ideas from my recommended tools and equipment list at webcookingclasses.com/tools. And all the carefree cooking gear is at the Web Cooking Classes store, webcookingclasses.com/store, including this year's Carefree Holidays t-shirt, which is no longer available after December 31st. Hey, look, it's been another great year together. Thank you so much. And if you know someone who would benefit from all the great cooking discussions and classes that we've had all year long, please love, share this video with them so they can become carefree in the new year as well. And if you're serious about wanting to create the best holiday meal ever with precision and confidence, even if it's just for 2 people this year, you don't have to stress out about it. You can still feel like a member of the family and not a caterer when you register for my free online web class that's going to show you exactly how to plan, cook, bake, coordinate, and use the leftovers creatively. Go to webcookingclasses.com/success for my holiday cooking success course, just in time for the stay-at-home holiday cooking coming your way. Hey, everybody, have a great holiday season. Be grateful for what you do have. Look forward positively to the new year, because that's when we'll be together again for the next Carefree Cooks Code. It's Chef Todd Moore reminding you that there's a method to your cooking success. Bye, everyone.